Shoe culture is stupid. If you're spending $3, $4, or $500 on a pair of shoes because they have the name of a basketball player on them, I'm just going to assume that you are stupid. They are literally just sneakers. They're not special and they don't make you better at basketball just because they use Michael Jordan's name. I don't really care much either way, but I do find it weird how obsessed people are with the one piece of clothing that will inherently constantly be dirty and worn out. The amount of grown men I've seen absolutely have a nervous breakdown over a scuff on their shoes is too damn high. My underwear is Calvin Klein because Michael J. Fox wears it. Fruit of the Looms are for losers. Seriously. Just collect nail clippings like the rest of us normal folks, you weirdos. OP, do you seriously think people who are overspending on expensive shoes are doing it to get better at basketball? Elmfow. It's the same as any type of collection. If it makes you happy, then whatever, you enjoying it is the only justification you need. Unless you are some sort of danger like a serial killer collecting trophies. I'm not worried about what people like to collect. People collect things and that's okay. I collect fossils, cards, comics. All sorts of stuff. Why can't people collect shoes? The real unpopular opinion given the replies here is that people love to feel superior over other people for very little reason, LMAO. The same could be said about clothing in general for the most part. There are definitely situations where higher grade material is being used, but for the most part it's all just a name game. It's dumb, but there's much dumber shit to spend your money on. Kicks NFTs. My sister's partner has over 100 pairs of sneakers, all sorts of limited edition bullshit, and each pair cost him well over the 100 mark. Wouldn't be so bad if he wasn't a massively overweight 55 years old that couldn't see his feet without the aid of a full-length mirror, and he could actually do something athletic or try work some sort of fashion around them, but he just buys whatever comes up because it fills some sort of void in his brain to do it. Redditus when people spend money on what they enjoy. Every hobby or collection has expensive things where the price isn't just for the item itself. A rare baseball card is just a baseball card, but it's worth more because less of them are available, and it may have more worth to someone who loves the player depicted on the card. Collecting things is not about the thing's utility. Collections are about the emotional investment of building that collection. If your opinion is that this behavior is irrational, then that's not unpopular, everyone knows it. I've seen people shoot each other dead over Jordans. It really is stupid, and sad. To die because your porous wanted to spend all the money to your name on stupid shoes. To kill because you have no money and think you need Jordans. Sad. Well, the worst part of it is people wearing suits with them. Horribly ugly, and it just doesn't fit. My most expensive pair of shoes were $100 and were my Doc Martens, and those should last forever. I can understand why they act how they do, because those are collectibles to them, not shoes. I don't understand why someone would collect something practical and never or rarely use it: cars, shoes, watches. Have you tried not worrying about how others spend their money? Why do you care? LOL, this guy thinks people wear Jordans on the court. They consider them collector's items, just like people who spend tens or hundreds of thousands or dollars for single coins and stuff. Shoe brand culture is fucking stupid. Lego culture is stupid. They're just toys and pieces of plastic. If you spend a ton of money on them, you're wasting your money. And I'll assume you're stupid. Not so fun when someone makes fun of your interests, is it? Look, I don't get shoe culture either, but I acknowledge that to some it's a hobby status symbol, so like whatever, man, who cares, they're happy. As long as it's not causing them or anyone else problems, why even care or criticize their passion? People are stupid paying $1,000s for shoes. Paying more than $1,000 for a phone every year. Paying $10,000s for shiny rocks to express emotion, wedding rings. All are stupid and done every day. I'm with OP on this unpopular opinion. When I first heard the term sneaker head, it made me think how odd to treat a pair of sneakers as some sort of class differentiator, some status or something. It's weird. I'm good with just Vans and Adidas. They're probably made by the same 11-year-old slave child that makes the super cheap stuff you buy elsewhere. Oh boy, a lot of angry sneakerheads in the comments. Do you have the same opinion about cars, handbags, clothing? I've now seen they have crease blockers one can insert inside their shoe. Apparently walking normally and the shoe bending at the toe is a serious concern for the shoe culture. Yeah, I'm sorry, but if you complain about not having money but spend $500 on shoes or anything not essential, or that will actually benefit your life, you have no room to complain. Reddit moment, keep rocking your hey dudes bro. Agreed. Thing about shoes is, they're shoes, they become worn over time if you use them as intended wearing them. Collecting shoes sounds bizarre to me. I do collect rocks, minerals and Pokemon cards, but one is amazing for display and the other has collection value much more widespread than sneakers lol. Yeah, I don't get it at all. WTF, do you mean dress sneakers? Also, why are they called sneakers? Can't remember when last I saw a MF sneak in them. For a shoe? Did the marketing team put a gun to people's head or what? Culture? It's just money-making marketing. Yeah, and the culture around having shoes that don't actually conform to your feet causing many lifelong issues, namely bunions and ingrown nails, which can lead to other problems such as back and hip pain from the way it changes your walking. Meh, to each their own, but when I start getting shoe shamed, that's when I gotta ask, bro, what are you literally on about? I have often said that Yeezys are the black equivalent of trading your cow for magic beans. According to the recent Kane documentary, some people spent upwards of $7,000 on one pair, selling their cars to buy shoes that make me wonder how you are stupid enough to buy them, but still smart enough to know they go on your feet. What do you think about shoes that cost that much that are made by the best craftsmen in a given country? I make a clear distinction between people that buy shoes of that price because of the hype, or because they are the latest pair, and people that buy the highest quality pair of shoes money can buy. To me, it makes more sense to buy shoes because they look fantastic, and because you love the craftsmanship, rather than buying a pair of shoes because they have hype around them. Usually the same guys who complain when their wives or girlfriends spend a lot of money on shoes or clothing or bags. For me, it's the fact that some people just buy it to be displayed in their shoe box and never worn. Like you really bought home decor and not shoes. Wait till you meet hat culture. Sounds like a bunch of haters with no fashion sense. For one, let people like what they like. Nobody getting on you for your Lego collection and Coke addiction. Secondly, if you're not paying for it and do not even have to look at it, why are you so personally upset by other people's fashion choice? Did you walk in on your dad getting plowed by a man in Gucci slides or something? Stop taking yourself so serious, because I promise you that nobody else does. I collect Jordans. Growing up, my parents couldn't afford them. Now I own all of the ones that I wanted as a kid. Never really cared what brand of shoes I get. Though now I'm willing to spend the extra dollar for good quality shoes. Out of functionality, because I just had to be born with wide feet. I know people who could have a down payment on a house with what they spent on shoes. The superior Redditus rushing to comment on this post after dropping $5,000 on graphics cards. I live happy with my pair of Converse, actually growing old, and am just considering getting the same pair again. 10,000. It pains me to think how much cheaper this shit can be if shoeheads just stopped buying 500 shoes for a little while. Demand less, pay less. Can we go ahead and add handbags to the list? When I was in the Navy, I remember a dude literally smashing a computer because we were in limited bandwidth mode during some drop. The entire concept that most of these shoes are as expensive as they are because of limited quantities is just as stupid, but manufactured scarcity to create value has been a driving factor for a long time. EY don't make you better at basketball just because they use Michael Jordan's name. Well, it's a good thing that nobody buys them for that reason then. What expensive items do you collect that others think is stupid?